go get them again.
Welcome back to the Robezoid channel. I'm your host Mark, and welcome to an unboxing first impression video on my channel. Today we are delving into the brand of Parfum the Marley, and this is Althaïr. Now we've been tackling a lot of PDMs lately on the channel. I'm saying a lot, like I hit 2 in the past few months. This one, of course, what is this one? Perseus. I spoke about this one, kind of like a Terre d'Hermes designer-ish fragrance. Wasn't overly too enthused with this one, that one. This one is more vanilla based, so that one was more citrus vetiver based personally. So we'll see. Over the years, I've hardly spoken about PDM just because I'm not a fan of the brand, so there's your disclosure. But since I've started decanting, it's a brand that it's actually really popular in the fragrance community, and there's no denying it. More of them are going to come throughout the channel throughout these years. This one is highly compared. Obviously, it's compared to something PDM. I don't think I've ever done a PDM video that a fragrance is not compared to something. It is compared to Mercedes-Benz Club Black, which I don't own, another vanillic fragrance. And it would not surprise me, and there's probably several other fragrances. There's probably already a clone that clones this. Honestly, I've been actually finally seeing a little bit of pushback in the community on this brand and the influencers that push them. So congratulations. It's nice to see finally, you know, some people are opening up their eyes at the free bottle brigade. You know, someone's pushing this in 2024, and then in 2026, crickets throughout their channel. And there's a reason for that free bottle brigade. So it's nice to see that. Demi, are you hearing that? You should call a family meeting. If you're new to the community, Demi Rawling, fragrance reviewer, doesn't disclose that she's actually family within the founders of PDM and Initio, and kind of is creative in regards to, you know, if you're going to be a brand ambassador, you're part of the family, that's absolutely suitable. Like if I actually married somebody, let's say in the Ziad family, and I had these readily available to me, and I had a YouTube channel and they were okay with me pushing it, I can't act like a fragrance reviewer. Either I'm a brand ambassador, and that means, you know, I'm not going to review it. I'm actually going to push it as a brand ambassador. Forget being a fragrance reviewer. You know, or not hide it. Like it's like you see something like this in her top 10 is just like hidden in there, and it's like, oh, I'm warming up to it and stuff. She's trying to, and she's saying like she's separating herself to, she's saying the brand. Well, you're part of the brand, you're family. So there's a lot of issues within the fragrance community in this, and there's some fragrance reviewers like Ashton from Gen Sense. He likes to go on Fragrantica, and he spends a lot of time on Fragrantica and looks at popularity of fragrances. Like when this first came out, it wasn't so popular. So his first video, I saw it, wasn't very positive. And then he learned to like it a few months later when the popularity on Fragrantica went a little higher. He actually even said it in his second video saying, yeah, if you go on Fragrantica, the popularity went up on this one, and you could see that he learned to like it a little bit more. Like he does that several times just to, it's basically a cover to have the majority of people that love a fragrance or hate a fragrance and kind of have that majority go with them. So that kind of defeats the purpose of being a fragrance reviewer. They're not a fragrance reviewer anymore. Once you start gauging and going on websites and going, okay, this is getting popular, now I can say a positive fragrance reviewer, oh no, most of the reviews are negative, so I'll just, you know, go with what the majority goes with. You're not a fragrance reviewer anymore. You're not, you know what, is it going to fluctuate? Like people are going to hate this fragrance 2 years later, and we're going to get a new video from him saying that he doesn't like it. Use your head. Okay, so Althaïr, a newer fragrance released in 2023. We got 2 perfumiers behind it. One of them, Hamid Muradi Kashani, the man behind many sweet PDMs. So I'm assuming it's going to be in that realm. The notes, let's take a look at the note breakdown. As you can see, vanilla is going to be your backbone from what I see in the note breakdown, but there is things like bergamot, cardamom, cinnamon, orange blossom. So brightness and some spices, and then in the mid we got a resin, elemi, can also give out a citrus appeal at the same time. Vanilla, of course, and in the base we have that ambroxan, which is disgusting. Gaiac wood, musk, and praline. So gourmandish, yes, I'm assuming. Let's get into it. Let's delve into this one and let's unbox it. Now again, I got called out in my old video on Ishio, just one I just shot, and they said, what the person say? They said, "Oh, your intro, you know, you're bashing the fragrance, but you're not bashing Amouage." Well, yeah, no, I'm not. Why? Because in that video, I said Initio and PDM hasn't shown me anything. Amouage has. So that's how I intro. And again, PDM has not shown me much of anything personally in regards to, again, the bottle's kind of the same. They're in this brown phase. Oh yeah, very much vanillic. Okay, we're gonna put on strip first and then on my skin. Not a bad atomizer. Oh. Yeah. Stickily sweet. Tons of sweetness here, tons of sweetness. So if you're not a fan of sweetness, whew. And I'm known for, you know, I love gourmand fragrances. I really like vanilla and fragrances when it's well done. This has that vanilla, what I'm getting mostly out of those notes, vanilla and the praline and the cardamom is coming through. Like, it really didn't show any of the brightness. There's nothing, Gaiac wood's not there. It really is a, smells like a, oh, there's a little bit of a citric acid there, giving it a little bit of brightness. But you know what this reminds me of? Like, I don't know Mercedes Club Black, so I can't tell you if it smells like that or not. But you know what this goes in? It goes into that category of Stronger With You by Armani. It has that gourmand, vanillic, kind of praline. You know, you could put in a nutty aspect in there, something like that, like gourmandish. It's going into that, it's going Stronger With You, by the fireplace, kind of like Maison Margiela kind of thing. All these vanilla elixirs coming through. This is where this is going. Oh, much more citrus here. That I can definitely smell that bergamot popping through, that orange blossom. Orange blossom, of course, neroli, so it has that. So it was much more gourmandish, or much more emphasizing the vanillic tendencies on the strip. And I'm getting a lot more citruses with a vanillic backbone. So yeah, it's going into that middle genre of, yeah, citruses meets gourmand. Almost like a creamsicle like I'm trying to think of a designer fragrance. Not the ultra zest, but kind of in that realm. You know, the citrus with something darker backing it. So it has that bergamot sparkle. It has that neroli like orange blossom in the opening. It's blending with the vanilla. The vanilla is kind of like a creamy ice cream like vanillic. So there's hints of freshness. There's a little hint of cinnamon here. Nothing with not too much personality. Tons of sweetness. I'm getting a little bit of that chocolatey praline coming through, but it's a vanilla-based fragrance all throughout in regards to this opening. And that's where I'm going with this, is now I'm looking at the note breakdown, and I've pretty much spoken about most of it. Bergamot, cardamom, cinnamon, orange blossom, vanilla, and praline all have been spoken about in this opening, in this video. So is there going to be, like, what's left in the background, like the Gaiac wood maybe, giving out a smoky aspect, perhaps maybe a little bit of woody aspects. The elemi really hasn't, again, there's a citrus appeal to elemi, but there's not a resinous quality in this fragrance. It's very sweet, gourmandish, and I guess the resins could get you into that. The sweetness is very artificial. And that's where I'm putting this into the designer category, because it kind of really reminds me of like a fragrance that would go against Stronger With You. That lineup, it would go against maybe like the more interesting Givenchy Gentleman line, which have a little more darkness to them, a little more playfulness. It's going against the Maison Margiela's, the By the Fireplace, Jazz Club. It's in that realm. And you can, you could say 1 Million Elixir to Le Mal Elixir. It's in that corner, that segment of fragrances. And again, I'm naming off designer after designer after designer. And that's my issue with PDM, is that price-wise and quality-wise, and I go through reviews, and I'm a reviewer. I definitely do my homework when I do fragrance reviews, and I see a lot of people online saying the quality of PDM, and I'm like, quality? What? This smells like a Le Mal Elixir, which I absolutely hate, and it's just a blob of sweetness, and this is a blob. Like, yes, it has, if it had and again, the price tag, like, I'm not saying it's a bad fragrance per se, by the way, but for the price tag, this is just a designer fragrance with a high end niche price tag. Again, like, if I had to recommend, like, if you like this and you're kind of new, I don't know why you would be new. Usually you're not going backwards, you're going forwards. And I feel like people are like gravitating from the Stronger With You line and these elixirs and stuff and kind of going to PDM. That's the kind of, I guess, where they're going. But really, you're not moving forward. You're just paying more and you're getting the same quality. Now, I don't know what I'm going to get in the back end of this. I don't know how much projection and longevity. Like, people all, they're going to use that as an excuse that this stuff blows the walls off. And I guess it has a little bit of a powdery aspect here, and you come to get that from a vanillic fragrance. You can see there is the praline, chocolatey, kind of caramelly, kind of sweetness. And there's that hint of freshness that's running through. So at the end of the day, this is in my wheelhouse. I do like the scent profile. But for the price, that's where, as a fragrance reviewer, I got to go, ooh, that's a tough sell. Personally, that's a tough sell. And there's a lot of talk within the community. Is this unisex or not? It's in the men's bottle. And people are saying, no, it's definitely not. Yes, it is. It's vanillic centric. So personally, for me, vanilla is very unisex as a note, but then you got other things in here that it all depends on your taste. And again, there's no black and white here as far as men, women, unisex. It is wear what you want to wear. Who cares about which bottle it came in? Who cares what your favorite fragrance reviewer says? Don't give your favorite fragrance reviewer heat because they say it's just a male fragrance or it's highly unisex, but you don't think, like, as a woman, you don't think it's unisex. It all depends on your taste and these notes. Personally, for me, I could see this towing the line. Very much unisex, personally, for me. And then it goes to that, that's why it's going, like Ashton says on Fragrantica, it's going, moving on up on popularity. The reason why it's highly unisex. Yeah. So at the end of the day, it's in that genre. I think Givenchy Gentleman, and I'm trying to think of which one, but like the ones that are a little darker, a little more interesting, the more gourmandish ones. I think they use the iris and they use it. It smells more polished, and that's just me being honest. It smells more of a polished fragrance, a better fragrance personally, than let's say a Stronger With You line. But again, this is what this fragrance is going against, and there's something in here that doesn't jive, which is the price tag. This versus all of these. So at the end of the day, Does it smell good? Yeah, I kind of do like the Stronger With You line. And again, you can go through my history of fragrances and things like that. Yeah, I do like that line. Again, not, quality wise. And, as far as the price go, even Armani pricing is kind of crazy for the Stronger With You line. Like I'm thinking like below $100, not 150, 160 for that kind of stuff. Givenchy Gentleman, a line that I think is priced appropriately. I really do like that line. Maison Margiela, like this is your competition and the price should factor in that regard, personally. I don't smell anything here that tells me otherwise, that it's, I don't know, probably double the price of these things, maybe more. Is this double as good as those? Not a chance. As far as my introduction to it. Yeah. So at the end of the day, Althaïr, not bad. It is a fragrance that I would actually personally wear. I would. I'm a huge fan of vanilla-based fragrances when done well. This vanilla is not the best in the game. Definitely not. For that price tag, go check out Spiritueuse du Blavet by Guerlain. Very straightforward vanilla, but the best in the game, personally, for me. Personally. It crushes this, like, big time. But yeah, a good mishmash of notes and kind of designer-ish. That's it. So yeah, Althaïr, not bad. Let's give it a little bit of flowers. Not bad. And again, I'm not going to go with the flow. Right now, this thing is getting lots of hate. Personally, there is still some hate going through with this fragrance. These two getting lots of hate, at least within my realm of the fragrance community. And, I go to beat my own drum. I prefer this over this, because this doesn't really give me much redeeming quality. At least this kind of smells like something personally that I would actually wear and like. Not that I don't like this, but a really nice grapefruit is a dime a dozen. So is this, but I really like wearing these kind of fragrances. So I'm going to give it some props for that, but definitely quality wise, yeah, no. Okay, and there is going to be, I am decanting this fragrance, so that's why I'm actually reviewing and talking about it. So there will be 10 ml decants coming next week at FragranceFlex.com. And since I am decanting this, I can offer you a code, TFG10. It gets you 10% off of those decants and anything on their website. And what's great with FragFlex is that you can get a full bottle of this, and you can also get the decant. So it is one store that you can get everything under one roof. Now that you've heard my take, I'd love to see yours in the comments below. What do you think about this release? Again, PDM. My audience is not a PDM audience. It's not. There is going to be a few people that are going to stumble upon this channel and this video, and they're not going to subscribe because I'm honest. Unfortunately, the art of giving, subpar fragrance reviews or negative fragrance reviews is kind of dead within the community. It's all sunshines and rainbows. Everybody likes PDM, apparently. They can do no wrong. I'm here to say lukewarm. It's good. I like it. As far as gourmand goes, sure. Price tag it's everything wrong with it. Is it high-end niche, high quality? No, it's not. Blending is... it's okay. It's nothing crazy. Like, I'm not expecting, like, Hermes fragrances are way better blended than this. Chanel, Dior. I can go on and on as far as blending goes. So those are things that a real fragrance reviewer will tell you about. And that's why it's just an okay fragrance. So I can't wait to see the comments. Always polarizing. Sometimes I almost feel, the day that I'm just like a talking head that just gives out positive reviews, like it's easy to do a fragrance review on this and be super positive, but that's not a fragrance reviewer anymore. I think that's the day that I got to step away from the game. And as always, a great report fragrance will make a lasting impression. Choose your gourmand based fragrances wisely. If you want to take one thing out of this video, just to close this off, if you're looking at gourmands, you like the smell of this, go check out what I've just said. Like, there's probably millions more. Go on Fragrantica, go see what people are comparing this to. But Stronger With You lineup, I'm not saying it smells like it, but it's in the same family. Givenchy Gentleman. Now, it doesn't utilize that vanillic tendency. It's more iris based, so a lot of men may not like it. But Givenchy Gentleman line, especially the darker ones like the Reserve Privé, the EDP, those are nice fragrances that I feel are in that same ballpark. Maison Margiela, By the Fireplace, Jazz Club, those are fragrances that would be in this ballpark, among others. Like, I'm just spitballing here, but those are, again, price tag of those. Like the Margielas, I'm guessing, are probably the most expensive out of all that. Maybe the Hermione's are pretty freaking expensive and hard to find, some of them. But yeah, like double the price, triple the price, oof, hard sell. So definitely do your research. And yeah, thanks for watching. Have a good one.